Hey everyone, Decav13 here, and welcome back to some more Let's Play Fate Hollow Ataraxia. Alright, so once again, I believe this is... It's been a couple days since I last recorded, so I think this is night of day 3, right? So I'm going to go out for another walk alone, because there's still one area to check in the northern residential area. Let's check this place out too, see if anything's going on here. Doesn't seem to be anything wrong here. Even though there isn't a single person out on the streets, I can hear the sound of family conversations inside. The streets are calm and quiet, perfect for a late-night stroll under the moonlight. I leave the Japanese-style residential district. Oh. On the way back, I catch a person's silhouette out of the corner of my eye. What leaves a bit of an impression on me is that it looks as thin as origami. Nothing wrong here. No clues in Miyama. Let us cross the bridge and continue investigating in Shinto. Okay, so I guess that's what we have to do next. Investigate Shinto. Let's see. Now, we do have that Ilya event. Let's go see Ilya. After a long journey, I finally arrive at the forest on the outskirts of town. About 2 more hours and I'll be at the Einsburn Castle, which I'm even starting to get used to. However, for some reason, something amazing is blocking my way to the forest. Hey, Berserker.
もしもし、ここで何をしてるのか聞いていいかな?
There's no reply. I can't tell whether that's a yes or no.
門番なのかな? 森に入りたいんだけど、いいかな? イリアに用があるんだけど。
There's no reply. Not a single word. He didn't say anything, so I guess that means it's okay to go? He's more or less an acquaintance. Even if he is Berserker, he should have recognized me.
よし。それじゃあ、ちょっと通りますよ。
I raise my hands and pass along his side. Guess not. The huge monster roars. It's as if he's saying, move any further and I'll send you flying back to Miyama.
ダメですか? 今日は帰れと言いたいのでしょうか?
Mr. Berserker is slowly losing his temper. I have truly no idea what he's saying. Would someone please find an interpreter?
物分かりの悪いお客様ね。
Oh, hey, Ilya.
約束もないのにレディの家に行こうだなんて追い返されて当然でしょ。ってあれ、誰かと思えばシロは
イリア。
そうだよ。こんにちはお兄ちゃん。ここで会うのは珍しいね。
Hey, Ilya. Good to see you. Ilya waves her hands energetically. But for some reason, she doesn't leave the forest.
おい、イリア。ちょっと城に行きたいんで、バサカにどいてくれって言ってくれないか?
そっか。シロ、私に会いに来たんじゃなくて、お城に行きたいんだ。それじゃあダメ。当家は第2条建設中につき、しばらく来訪をお断りしています。女の子の気持ちがわからないシロは、おとなしく町に帰ってください。
Well then. Ilya waves her hand goodbye. Even if I wanted to stop her, an impenetrable wall is blocking my path.
いや、待った。城に行きたいってのとイリアに会いたいってのは同義だと思う。
I say it like it is. Even I understand how girls feel.
シロにしては上出来だけど、やっぱりダメ。
Well.
だってお城には何もないもの。シロが来てもいいことなんてないし、聖杯戦争の手がかりもない。うちを調べるぐらいなら街を歩き回ってた方が建設的よ。
そんなことない。イリアの城は面白い。
It's quite elegant inside. I can see Ilya whenever I want, and Stella and Lisa there too. As for the Holy Grail war clues, you'll never know if you don't look. I mean, Ilya is one of the masters too. Even if there wasn't anything in the castle, there's still the chance of Ilia herself getting involved in some kind of trouble.
もう考えてること丸分かりなんだから、シローにはあんまり来てほしくないんだけど、ここで断っても懲りずに何度もやってくるだろうしな。いいわ、どうしてもっていうなら考えてあげる。どうせ追い返してもやってくるんだものね。それならそれでちょっと変わった出し物を用意してあげましょう。
What does that mean, Ilia? Her solemn expression suddenly changed to a suspicious-looking grin. This is the visage of an imp that has just come up with an extraordinary new prank.
おいイリアなんかよからぬアイデアひらめいてないか？
Shirou's just at a complete loss. I don't think I've ever heard him sound like this before. A host welcoming their guests is great, but getting carried away with it is definitely not.
そうね、そうと決まれば急いで準備しなくっちゃ。
I mean, I guess it's understandable he sounds like this, because, you know, Berserker is right there.
森を開いて絶壁を作ってちゃんと出迎えの戦車も用意してと。そうそう、セラとリズにも出番をあげなくっちゃ主人失格よね。
She's not listening. I can already hear Ilia's magic circuits turning on at full blast. From what I've heard, her magic just skips over logic and provides the result. She's sort of a miniature Holy Grail. Whatever she wants, as long as it's something within the limits of her magical energy, it'll somehow materialize, despite even Ilia herself not knowing how.
やっぱり海峡は必要よね。あれなくして何が城攻めかっ
You're
て
gonna make
感
him
じ。
siege your castle?
迷路は私の魔力量じゃそこまでは無理っぽいな。
An irreversible event is unfolding at an amazing speed. Alas, the wish-granting power of the Holy Grail is being used on something really worthless.
なあイリア、俺城に行きたいだけなんだけど。
ええ、準備ができたら喜んで招待してあげるわ。その時まで束の間の平和を謳歌してなさい。覚悟してね、お兄ちゃん。完成の暁にはこれでもかっていうぐらいキリキリ前にしてあげるんだから。
After proclaiming my death sentence, Ilia disappears into the mist.
なんか雲行きが怪しくなってきた。
Looks like I'm going to have to overcome a terrifying trial in order to enter the Einsburn castle. The giant remained silent. Yet somehow I felt like he was saying, "Don't lose heart, boy," as a way of encouragement. Thanks, Berserker. Alright, do the school in the temple. Somewhere on the grounds. And Issei in the student council room. Go to the temple, see who this is on the grounds. Oh!
おかしいな。この辺りのような気がするんだけどな。
I forgot he was in this game.
見つからないってことは諦めた方がいいのかな。昔から見つけにくいものに限って手に入れた途端ろくでもない目に遭ってきたしな。
There's a lone child here. A gorgeous-looking boy with hair that looked like it was made of gold ingots and eyes as red as rubies. The boy is walking around the grounds. Maybe he had lost something.
こんにちは。気持ちのいい天気ですね、お兄さん。
He called out to me in a good-natured manner.
いや、こんにちは。
いや、どうもです。やっぱり律儀なんですね、お兄さんは。そういうところ大変良いです。今後も愚直なまでに一途にこうしちゃってください。
And with that, the blonde-haired child walked off. What?
まだここに来るのは早いってことです。そうだな。僕の名前が分かってなんか曰くありげなものを手に入れたら今と同じ時間にお寺の裏に行ってみるといいことあるかもです。
Okay. He took off with a light pace. But even though his footsteps sounded light, his speed was equal to that of a hound.
なんなんだ一体。
It was the Ryudo Temple in the early afternoon. And something mysterious had happened. Okay. There's call it a day. I'm not gonna go for a walk. Let me go to Miyama, will it? You've already seen this scene. Oh, okay. Yeah, it just takes me to the end of the 4 nights. So yeah, we can skip that then. Alright. Okay, so once again, we didn't get anything new here. School is something new. Oh, right, yeah, because we have new scenes at school. Alright, we'll do this then. Okay, so we'll go talk to Issei.
Ohayo, Emiya.
Oh, ohayo, Issei.
I greet Issei, who just came out of the student council room. As expected from the president of the student council, he's been enthusiastically fulfilling his duties since early morning.
そっか。Issei はまだ生徒会長なんだよな。
不審なことを言うな、エミヤ。
Ryudo Issei, the student council president, still as solid as a rock. Homurahara's overseer was this very Issei, the student council president. Anyway, since he was a first year, he was earmarked as the next student council president. He more than lived up to expectations, performing admirably. Even if he stepped down, he'd still be called President Ryudo. Even at future reunions, he would probably still be remembered as President Ryudo. But on the other hand,
部活は軒並み時代に引き継ぎしてるのにな。
仕方なかろう。用意こそしているが、引き継ぎたくても相手がいない。
so that was it. Issei's student council president aura was too great, and as there were no suitable candidates, Issei was re-elected. It really was an unprecedented state of affairs.
いや、大荷物だな、Issei。
うん。しかるべき人材が会長選で選ばれておれば、自分も元生徒会長と呼ばれていたはずなのだが、どうも今年の2年は新年と忍耐が未熟と見える。
Issei mutters to himself. This was causing him quite a few headaches. Even in conversation, he sounded lifeless.
生徒会の引き継ぎ難しいのか。
いや、そんなことはないのだが、現に今の執行部は2年の初期などを中心にして、なんとか3月の再会長選に向けて動いている。
誰かめぼしい2年に働きかけたりしてないのか。前の副会長のことか、一世の教え子みたいなもんだったろ。
If I don't do that, the possibility of another failure is high. Still, with half a year remaining, don't tell me Issei intends to be held back a year in order to retain his student council president post.
そうもいかん。彼女が自分の意思で立候補するならともかく、俺が推薦することはできん。
なんでさ。
彼女のためにならんし、下手をすると派閥を作ることになりかねん。傀儡政権とまではいかぬが、俺の推薦では体育連の部長たちがいい顔はすまい。そもそも生徒会は正当かつ民主的な選挙によって行われるべきもの。俺の後任が誰になるかを決めるのは俺ではなく、
なるほど。
This president is worthy of admiration. As long as this Iron Man is here, I'm sure the next election is going to be a rough one as well.
しかし、霧島君以外に適任がいないのも事実でな。彼女はいっそ留年してもう1年どうですかなどと冗談を言うが、それではあまりに進歩がない。かといって他に遺髪を継がせられる2年もおらん。
なかなか点が厳しい。
エミヤ、お前が一つ下の下級生であったら、おそらくは前乗していたであろうな。
Abdicate? Is he saying he'd give up the position of student council president to me? He says some scary things.
しかし、まだ時間はある。卒業まで生徒会長を続けることはそう苦ではなし。いや、むしろ延期の機会を与えられたことが幸いでもあるしな。
When Issei had won the elections by an overwhelming majority in his second year, what he set out for was a road towards reformation. But the reason he had won was not because of the need for reformation, but because he was the epitome of a student council president, and few students at the time were focused on reformation itself.
やり残しがあるってことか。
ホムラハラの改革を妨げる要因はまだ取り除かれていない。
そっか。まあ10年来の暗黙のルールだからな。一期じゃ難しかったか。
せめてあと1年任期があれば、部費の不均等問題や同好会部の適正化問題や校則改正動議なども区切りがつくものを。残念無念。
Issei's regret seeps through his speech. Even though I was only watching from the sidelines, I thought Issei was doing a good job. But if I could say one thing about him, he does have a weird way of showing passion for things. But one reason for that would be that Issei...
これもそれもだな。あの遠坂がいかんのだ。
それか。
遠坂が運動部の肩を持ち、修学旅行に干渉し、天津さえ隠然とした影響力で役員を脅しすかして意志をねじ曲げ、結果かようにしてこの改革が遅れたのだ。
Raging all the way down to his core, it was the usual rant from Issei. At this rate, the only outcome is that the person he's ranting about shows up and they get into a fight, or I listen to him until he finishes.
無駄な労力を遠坂に。あのホムラハラの女会に奪われなければ、今頃は穏やかな隠遁生活を送れたものを。
いや、遠坂はあれで結構一世の方針をよく噛み砕いてたと思うけど、他の部長たちみたいに感情で反対してこなかったろ。
分かっている。それゆえに奴に口論で負けるわけにはいかんのだが。ところでエミヤは遠坂の肩を持つのか？
Well,
いや、肩を持つっていうかだな。
I know quite well how scary she can be, so in a way I'm worried about Issei. All I can do is pray that they don't end up mutually destroying each other in a cross-counter fashion.
遠坂め、ここに至って俺の右腕を色仕掛けで模擬に来るとは。敵ながら最も効果的な攻撃を心得ているわ。勝つ。
Issei nods his head. It almost sounds as if he admires her.
ああ、もしかして一世って。
何かあるのか、エミヤ。
遠坂がいないと寂しいのか。
Do you miss her? Wow, Issei drew back with amazing speed.
何のことだ。それはエミヤ。
He's so red.
そもさん。
せっぱ。だってほら、寄ると触ると遠坂って言うだろ。一世もさ、ライバルにあいつがいなかったらやりがいがないんじゃないかと。
失敬な。俺はあのような化粧の好敵手など。
遠坂もきっと同じだって。そういう意味では宿命のライバルだ。
I try smiling, feeling a little bit refreshed. Homeroom is going to start soon.
時間切れか。この件に関しては後で思うところを確かめるぞ、エミヤ。
いいぞ。遠坂への愚痴ならいくらでも聞いてやる。
引っかかるな、その言い回し。なぜ生温かい目をする？
Well, really. The more we talk about it, the more likely it is that Issei will realize that even though he doesn't like Tosaka, they are inseparable rivals.
今は教室に急ごう。ここで油売ってると藤姉に先を越される。
藤村先生か。確かに規則違反には容赦がない。急ぐぞ、エミヤ。
Can I just hang out with Sakura again? I don't know, hang out with fucking Shinji.
エミヤ、昼にしようぜ。
For reasons unknown, Shinji came up to me and invited me to join him for lunch. Totally out of the blue, but it does happen a few times a year, so it's not that surprising.
いいけど、俺弁当だぞ。シンジは購買行ってパン買ってくるか。
購買か。
いや、安っぽい惣菜パンって気分じゃないね。学食か、いっそ外まで食べに行かない？
Out? I guess he means the shops in Miyama. Sounds reckless, but it's not impossible to get back before 5th period if we hurry.
たまにはいいかな。今日の弁当は俺が作ったもんだし、弁当は日頃のお礼を兼ねて後藤君にもらってもらえばいいし。お、珍しく話が早いじゃんか。よし、その素直さに免じて今日はとっておきの店を紹介してやるよ。バイト先の近くに美味しいパスタ屋を見つけてさ。待った、シントまで行ってたら授業に間に合わないぞ。深山の商店街にしておこうぜ。そんなのサボっちゃえばいいじゃん。単位足りてるだろ。
Come on, let's go. He keeps bugging me as if it's now or never. I have my reservations, but I just can't get the words amazing pasta out of my head. For Shinji, very particular about taste. To praise it so, it may be worthwhile.
たわけ自分だけでは飽き足らず学友まで堕落させようとは見下げ果てたぞ。待とう。
And so Issei, who is listening, eavesdropping in the back, interrupts with the flames of justice.
なんだよリュウド、僕たちがどこで昼食を取るかなんてお前に関係ないだろ。部外者は黙ってろよ。部外者は
関係はある。学友が悪友にいいようにたぶらかされそこを乱そうとしているのだ。注意をするのは当然だろう。大体だな、エミヤと約束をしたのはこちらが先なのだ。そうだろエミヤ。
Did I?
悪い、覚えがないけど。
But if Issei says so, it's probably true. I've been having trouble remembering things lately for some reason. Probably said I'd go to the student council room in the morning. I really don't recall saying that, though.
空見たことか。まったくどうせ断られるだろうと黙って聞いていれば強引なこと甚だしい。さあ行くぞエミヤ。今日はとっておきの茶葉を出そう。シントの炒めし屋など比較にならん。
I'm being dragged to the student council room.
はあ、何言ってん。どうせ暇なら生徒会室に来いっていつものやつだろ。そんなの約束でも何でもないよ。いや、むしろ命令に近いんじゃない？予定がない時は生徒会室で昼食をとることなんて学則いつ作ったのさ、生徒会長様は。
そんな学則など誰が作るか。生徒会室での昼食は合意の上だ。エミヤからも言ってやれ。今朝もきちんと約束をしたと。
したっけ？今朝？
した。ホームルームの終わりに目があったじゃないか。その後に俺が咳払いをすれば生徒会室、エミヤが咳払いをすれば教室という決まりだろ
That an agreement in any way, shape, or form? He shakes his head. I'm really sorry. I didn't notice we had such a rule these last 3 years. I did think that he coughed unnaturally from time to time. I see. So that's how we've been deciding on the meeting place.
あのさ、前からちょっと思ってたけど、竜道って紙一重？
失礼だ。たやすく突破しているお前に言われたくはないぞ。
Sparks start flying between the two of them. There's nothing spectacular going on, but it is an exciting battle nevertheless. I'd rather take out my lunch and spectate as I'm eating, but then I would be the only one full by the end of it.
もしもし、二人とも昼休みもそう長くないんで決着は後にしてくれ。要するに3人で学食行けばいいんだろ。シンジは外食を諦めて、一星は生徒会室を諦める。それお断りだね。外に食べに行くったら食べに行くんだよ。ほら、おごってやるから行こうぜエミヤ。終わったらそのまま街に繰り出そう。今日さ、ちょうど西高の女の子と合コンの予定が。
わからんやつだなマト。エミヤを悪の道に巻き込むなと言っているんだ。そんなに洋食が好きなら西欧にでも永住してしまえ。あとエミヤを合コンに誘うな。
Looks like my proposal has failed miserably too. Seems that the two of them have no intention of eating with me and the other one.
ああ、いい。好きにしろ。俺、学食で食べてくるから。
you two have fun arguing.
待てエミヤ。それではあまりにも情がない。ここはきっぱりと決断を下すのが
What the fuck
友
do
人
you
としての
mean?
責務ではないか。どちらかを切り捨てるのは主義に反するだろうが、今は鉄の誠意を見せるべきだ。同感だね。竜道と意見が合うなんて吐きそうだけど、全く同感だね。ほら、さっさと教えてやれよエミヤ。一人で寂しく昼食をとるのはどっちかってことをさ。
じゃあ一世。
Good choice. What the fuck?
なんでシントのパスタ屋だよ。
Ooh, that took me off guard. What the fuck was that? Holy shit. Oh my god.
その後に合コンだよ。僕から見てもイケてる女の子たちと夢の3時間だよ。こっちのが楽しいに決まってん
I
じゃ
feel
ん。
lightheaded after seeing that.
うわ、エミヤマジわかんね
パスタ屋には興味があるし、合コンは苦手だけど割と好きだ。だけど最大の問題はだな。
I point toward the schedule. That's right, 5th period is Fujine's class.
そうだな。少々残念ではあるが、実に学生らしい理由だ。エミヤはそうでなくてはならん。カツ。
そういうわけだから、シンジもやめとけよ。生徒会室で一緒に飯食おうぜ。惣菜パンが嫌なら弁当を分けてやるから。
その必要はあるまい。あれほどの単価を切ったのだ。よもや校内で食事をとろうとは思うまいよ。なあ、そうだろう、マット。その通りだよ、竜道。頼まれたって生徒会室になんか行くもんか。いいさーだ。お前たちはいつも通り低俗で平凡な昼休みを過ごせばいい。けど勘違いするなよ。本当の勝者は誰なのかすぐに思い知らせてやる。
He's getting in real big trouble, isn't he? Shinji half laughs, half cries, and goes away. Man, I'm a little sad I haven't picked this event before. Damn. I really don't get it, but maybe there was something wrong with what I just said.
なあ一世、今の俺が悪かったのかな。
そうだな。マトウに同情はしないが、もう少し言葉を選んでくれ、エミヤ。俺がマトウだったら間違いなく自決している。
You say you can't just say it so casually. I can't really understand Issei either. Fucking. Even though he said he had no sympathy towards him, he claps his hands in silent prayer over Shinji's desk. He's not dead yet. The bell rings to signal the end of lunch. We conclude our lunch in the council room and prepare for class, about to start in 5 minutes. Shinji is missing. Seems he hasn't come back yet.
喉元過ぎればなんとやらか。こうなるとマトウに悪いことをしたな。特に今日のマグロカツは素晴らしかった。一切れぐらいは奴に味合わせてやっても。
What the hell was that? It wasn't just Issei who noticed something odd. Everyone in class is looking out into the hallway to see what's going on. A crowd resembling a circus is approaching. The troupe traveling down the hallway appears to include Shinji and many of his first-year female admirers. They all have their lunchboxes and are feeding Shinji.
なんと。
Huh. Issei stands speechless. Shinji stops to boast.
おや、そこにいるのは男だけで昼食をとる寂しい二人組じゃないか。
Well.
どうかな。今日の昼食もどうしようもなく惨めだったかな。女の子の歓声はなかったから、キャーシンジ様素敵あーんとかしてもらえなかったかな。
Issei starts to shake. Shinji's mood is already maxed.
僕は最高さ。もう言語に絶するほど楽しかったね。残念だな。君たちにもこの楽しさを分けてあげたかったよ。
おのれ、本当に分かりやすいやつだな、貴様は。
うわ、逃げようみんな。あそこにいるのはジジブサイ生徒会長だ。捕まったらセンスゼロのドレスコードを強制されるからね。
The whole Shinji circus troupe runs away merrily down the hall. I'm fairly certain they rehearsed all this beforehand.
逃がすかまとう。エビア、藤村先生にはホムラハラの三大仏敵を始末してくると告げておいてくれ。
Three public enemies of Homurahara. And with an incredible speed, Issei follows after them. But even then, being an active member of the student council, he does not run. His walking has already surpassed running.
痛み分けだ。
The bell announces the start of 5th period, 4 months before graduation. Ryudo Issei, for the first time in his life, has missed a class. Fucking goofy as hell. Yeah, we already did this, so... Okay, so now we can go out for a walk across the bridge. Crossing the bridge, I head over to Shinto. There's nobody on the pedestrian walkway at this hour. Tonight, with no cars on the roadway, the sound of the breeze from the sea echoes around me.
ますます半年前の焼き直しだな。あの時もこうやって。
Went with Saber and Tosaka to Shinto, didn't I? Not a single word exchanged between us, anxious at being led to some unknown place, but at the same time welcoming the new adventure. How do I feel now? Everyone knows there's something strange going on. What's weird is that, not knowing what's right or wrong, I have settled into the reopened Holy Grail War.
ま、理由もなしに喧嘩ふっかけてくる奴がいないのはいいことだけど。
There's no reason to fight. Therefore, there's no risk of dying. Mutual hatred and spite that causes ruin, however. What the fuck just happened? An instant. I probably could not comprehend what happened until the very end. Oh, we're dying. I collapse on the railing. Streams of blood and life force are gushing out of me. Nothing can save me now. This is a lethal wound, almost the same as instant death. Unconsciously, my dying eyes grab onto the image. No reason to fight, no fear of death, eh? His eyes scorn me for this foolishness. Archer? Saying nothing, he knocked the fatal arrow. It is Archer. What the fuck, dude? Unable to dodge or block, instant death already assured. The second arrow Oh, he's in this outfit. Dead bad end. Alright. Cool. So I guess don't do that. Road to Shinto is blocked by a sniper. There's no choice but to defeat this enemy. Good to know! Oh hey, new stuff here. Heavens Feel Back Night 2. Is this back with Bazet? After, she was killed? My awakenings always begin with anguish. I fall from a sunless abyss to sunlit ground. I go from darkness to light. It isn't much different than being born through a birth canal. A spark of life somehow ignites my dying body, rekindling consciousness in this world once again. I writhe in sharp pain. The moment I am reborn, the blood circulation, bone joints, nervous system, internal organs, everything I need to live generates pain. I am alive to suffer. My already fried brain searches for normality within its damaged state, and able to start functioning only through pain. In short, my body finally gains human thought through agony. It feels as if I have been multiplied into 100 people, all of whom have been mixed on a pallet. Whatever clear identity I had is gone, as the countless indistinguishable beings I have become melt together. To be resurrected from nothingness demands that much of a price. That chaos. That feeling that I have ceased to be anything absorbs and assimilates even my agony. My ego is gone. Why be reborn? Why do I have to go through this? Even those questions become things of the past. I have attained the state of no self. It is a pure paradise with neither happiness nor sorrow, one that will never bear fruit. But just one thing alone is painful. Tears come down my cheeks. In the depths of this perfected land, why am I still connected to something so beautiful? Once again, the first day begins. The woman had parted ways, and my lovely master, Lady Bazette, lies sleeping on the sofa. Oh, this is from the servant's point of view. Or so it appears. She's dead, actually. The reason's obvious. She had her heart pierced by the servant's saber right in front of the church. Since she'll start breathing again eventually, there's no need to bother waking her up or burying her. All I have to do is guard this place as her servant.
でもな、退屈だな。いたずらしちゃおうかな。
Honest to my own desires, while never heeding the desires of others. That's me. I'm the kind of servant that puts my own pleasure first, so I'd engage Bazette in some good old-fashioned necrophilia. What the fuck, dude? The usual me would start eating her midway through the deed without thinking, and the room would be a mess before I realized it. Of course, I'd only do that if she wasn't my master. If she were to wake up while I'm doing her, she'd be a pain in the ass to deal with later. I'm used to getting hated and killed, but getting cried at? That isn't love. Since I have nothing else to do, I start to kill time in a simple way. Click, click, click. Click, 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 click. I slide the panels around, match the ticking of the clock. Speeding up the tempo, I become seriously focused on the game. I heard a sultry breath from the sofa. Lightly shaking her head, Bazette glares at me as if I were her enemy.
よ、目が覚めたかマスター。まさか今度も記憶が曖昧だなんて言い出すんじゃないだろうな。
記憶は確かです。あなたが私のサーバントであることも、私がこの洋館を隠れ家にしているマスターであることも知っている。
Okay, she remembers that.
以前ここで目を覚ました時、私の記憶が不確かだったことも覚えています。
結構話が早くていい。じゃあまあ早速外に出て聖杯戦争の続きといこう。
待ちなさい。この洋館以前のことは曖昧ですが、その後のことは全て覚えている。私とあなたが敵マスターに敗れ殺されたこともだ。
Yeah, by the Edelfelt sisters.
それは肝心なことは覚えてないくせにどうでもいいことは覚えてるんだね。で、それがどうした？今生きてるんだからいいじゃねえか。細かいことは気にすんなよ。
よくはない。こんな不条理放っておいたままでいられるものですか。答えなさいサーバント。私たちは倒された。それがなぜこうして生きているのです。
どうしてって生き返ったからだろう。ま、厳密に言うと1日目の夜に戻ってるってことだけどな。
Bazette shows no signs of surprise. I guess she must have been thinking over what happened from the moment she woke up. Gotta admit, that adaptability of hers is a rare talent. The problem is she doesn't realize she has that gift. Nah, more like she just looks down on herself. Oh well, not like I'm in any position to criticize her on that front.
それが事実なら、私のサーバントは大したものだ。死者の蘇生には時間旅行、平行世界の運営、無の否定、いずれかの魔法が絡む。あなたはその奇跡を可能とする英霊だというのですか。
Why are you looking at me like that? You don't believe me? No, actually, you're making fun of me, no doubt about it. No, ma'am. Lowly little old me can't do something that friggin' nuts.
まあ その真似事をしてると思ってくれればいい。あんたは死んでも生き返れる。俺と契約している限り何度だってやり直せる。誰に敗れようがこうしてここから仕切り直しができるってわけだ。
原理は分かりませんが、リセット。いえ、ループしているということね。どんな宝具かは見当がつかないけど、とにかくあなたは夜になれば蘇生、いえ、死んだ場合生きていた頃のこの場所にスキップしてしまう。結果、私たちはまだ生きているから死から蘇生する。運命に介入改ざんするタイプの宝具ですか。確かに英霊を名乗るにふさわしい力だわ。これなら本人がどんなに弱くても納得がいく。
So you couldn't accept that I was that weak, huh? Okay, so I did get killed without showing any of my good points. Anyone will get fed up after that.
そういうわけだ。だから安心してやられてくれ。ああ、けど殺されるのはなるだけ夜がいい。俺は夜でないと戦えないんだ。昼間はあんまり調子が出ないたちでさ。
ループの条件は夜中でなければならないということですね。
Huh. Okay, so that's new information. So your death has to be at night in order for the loop to actually kick in.
確かにそれぐらいの弱点がなければ強力すぎる宝具だわ。
Boss, you're getting a few things wrong there. Oh? Whatever. It all comes down to the same thing.
いいでしょう。行動を起こすのは夜中だけとします。日中はここで眠りますから。あなたも
I
勝手
guess
な
just
行動は
maybe he doesn't
控え
want
る
to
よ
go。 during the day, so that's why he said that.
はいよ。けどあんたこそさ、昼間は決して外に出てくれるな。俺日中は本当に弱いんだ。マスターが守ってくれなきゃ簡単に殺されちまうからな。
わかりました。何か著しく立場が逆な気がしますが、あなたの特性は把握しましたから。戦闘能力こそ皆無ですが、特殊能力は他に類を見ないものです。戦闘は私が行いますから、あなたはその得意な宝具で聖杯戦争をフォローしてくれればいい。
そりゃ助かるけど、極端すぎないかマスター。俺だって少しは戦える。サーバントには勝てないと断言できるが、その気になれば足止めくらい。
あの結果でですか。戦闘面においてあなたには何も期待していません。あなたはそこにいるだけでいい。
Bro didn't do shit.
楽でいいけど、それじゃあいつまで経っても勝てないぜ。マスターからサーバントを引き離すのも何度もうまくいくとは思えないし。
When it comes down to it, fighting in the Holy Grail War means beating a servant. Without taking down a servant, you're not going to be able to kill its master. Except there's no way a human being is going to be able to match up to a servant. That's why I'm saying I'll help her out, even though I really don't want to bother. But...
いえ、マスターとサーバントを引き離す必要などありません。サーバントなら。
Bazet declares this with an unshakable confidence. That's a surprise. Here I thought I was immune to these things, but that one just sent a chill down my spine.
それより質問があります。殺されたのが夜なら何度でも蘇ると言いましたが、それは何らかの代償が必要なのですか。例えば私の魔術回路が失われていくとか、あなたの宝具には使用回数が決まっているとか。
いや、代償はないよ。あんたから取り立てるものは一切ない。我が属性は虚無。無がある限り何度でも蘇る。あんたは安心して納得いくまで続ければいい。
確認しました。あなたと契約している限り、私は負けないということですね。
Right. Of course you won't win either.
となると、残る問題は一つだけですが、いえ、ここまで好条件だというのに、そんな不満を口にするなど何を考えているのか私は。
You got something to say, then just say it.
なんだよいきなり。他に聞きたいことでもあんのか。
つまらないことを聞くのですが、死亡した場合こうして蘇生できるのは素晴らしい反則と言っていい得点でしょう。 ですが、蘇生する際のあの痛みは消せないものなのでしょうか。いくら死から逃れるためとはいえ、この先もあの痛みを通過するかと思うと二の足を踏むというか。
あ、何それ。蘇生するとき怖い思いでもしてんのあんた。
怖いわけではありません。不快で気味が悪いだけです。
Oh, she's scared.
へえ、あれが地獄と呼ばれる地点なのかわからない。ただおぞましく汚らしかった。本来死者に意識はない。通常の死者なら不快に思わないのでしょうが、意識のある者にはあれは最低のドブクズです。
ああ、そうなんだ。参ったな。俺は特別感じないけど、気がついたらここにいるって感じで。人間とサーバントの違いかね。
You have to put up with that much. Come on, normally you'd be dead.
その、なんだ。あんたそりゃわがままってもんですよ。
分かっています。言ってみただけです。蘇生の代償なんですから、あの程度の攻めく耐え抜いてみせましょう。
そうそう。この先何度もお世話になるだろうし、今のうちに受け属性作っとけよ。
そう何度も殺されてたまるものですか。次に殺されるのはセイバーのサーバントだ。私がされたようにあの胸を貫いてみせます。
ああ、それでこそ俺のマスターだ。んじゃあまあ、そのやる気が燃えてるうちに聖杯戦争を続けるとしようか。
I stopped talking and aimed for the door. Honestly, I don't give a shit about the Holy Grail War, but I'm also a sore loser. I want to find and kill my enemies now. Right now. I'll kill those bastards that hurt me. I'll kill those bastards that didn't do anything to stop them. I'll kill everything. I'll murder every single living human I see. If I don't, I'm not going to be able to keep my insanity. If I don't, I won't be able to keep myself from going sane.
どうした？行かないのか、マスター。
Oh. I swallowed down my heart as it threatens to escape my chest and turned back towards Bazat. Maybe my thirst for blood just now reminded her of something. Bazat's looking at me the same way when she accused me of killing people in that bloody house.
やはり私は半人前だ。一番大事な質問をどうして思い出さなかったのか。
Don't have to bother wondering why. You forgot because you didn't want to remember.
答えろ。お前は一体何のサーバントだ。
A question filled with hostility. To that I finally answer, grinning like a little girl waiting for her sweetheart.
アベンジャー。復讐のサーバントだよ。
A class that shouldn't exist. Its name proclaimed with hatred and joy. She's attacking an extremely fast combination. A right straight that actually made me feel sorry for the enemy, mercilessly crushes the monster's skull. Hard to believe it came from a human being. Probably out of revenge for having had 10 of their pals killed already. More prey come leaping at her. The moment right after she punches with her right fist, cursed claws take the opportunity to strike at her seemingly immovable position. She dodges just by lightly turning her head, while simultaneously driving her right leg into the monster's head. Sharp and heavy. The head's blown off like a ripe tomato. Not even bothering to visually confirm that, Bassett turns around to face the newcomers arriving from behind, once again intercepting them with lethal timing. It's almost as if she were a spinning top fitted with a blade. Responding in every direction, clearing the attackers away. A deadly dance that shows no mercy for its target.
呆れた。出番ないじゃん、俺。
I was doing pretty well on my own, even while watching her in fascination. While I was slicing up one of these guys, Bazette pulverized around 3. And I mean literally pulverized. Those skinny legs and her fists, it's totally scattering flesh and cutting through bone. Seriously, I'm impressed. To think human hand-to-hand combat would improve this much. Seems like there are runes of hardening carved on her fists, legs, knees, and toes. The basic bodywork for that must have been an art perfected for use by human beings. Way different from us when we go berserk, letting instinct take care of the rest. But I thought the technique is the legacy of the old days of blood and sweat. How many years of effort went into being able to use it? I mean, she was a girl. Whoops. Mature grown-up woman. Weren't there other things she should have been learning? Guess not. These monsters are no match for the walking weapon by the name of Bazette. They're no better than hapless sheep, a pack of game to be hunted. Homer? Stop. Stop. They're already dead. By the way, what the heck's a Homer?
なるほど。これがあなたの言っていた得体の知れない連中ですか。
Sighing heavily, Bazette puts away her leather gloves. Miss Walking Weapon, what the hell? You beat almost 20 monsters to death and all you do at the end is sigh?
使い魔の類でしょうね。知性は乏しく、人間を殺すという単一性能しかありませんが、大量に刺激するには適している。私たちの知らないマスターではない8人目の魔術師がいるのは確かなようだ。こんな使い魔を使って無差別に人を襲う魔術師など放置できない。あなたは何か心当たりがありますか？
俺？
おう。
マスターの言うようなやつは知らない。ま、そのうち出会うんじゃないか。
After all, we've got plenty of time. This isn't going to end regardless of what we do, so we ought to bump into each other one of these days anyway.
いいでしょう。それと、あなたを疑ったことを謝ります。町の異常はこの怪物たちの主の仕業で、あなたの仕業ではなかった。
いいさ。冤罪は慣れっこだし、同じ穴の無地ななんだ。こいつらが先か、俺が先かの違いだよ。こいつらが町の人間たちを殺して回ってるもんで、俺の仕事が全くないだけだ。
I like being able to take it easy, but you know, job's a job. Really can't let other people take it away from me. My whole meaning of life is on the line here. If I go unemployed, I can't live.
そんな仕事はやめなさい。あなたがどこの英霊かは知りませんが、私のサーバントである以上、一般人を巻き込むことは許しません。
だから、今日は誰も殺してないだろ。さっきの屋台の兄ちゃんなんてよだれ垂らしながら見送ったんだぜ。おでんも肉も食いたかったな。けど言われたことは何とか守る優秀な俺。ほら、褒めて褒めて。
それが普通なのです。褒められることではありません。
My owner's being mean. One of these days, you only have yourself to blame when I move on to the rebellious stage.
それより、いい加減はっきりさせることがある。
I really like Avenger. He's funny.
あなたの宝具が何であるかは分かりましたが、まだ神名を聞いていない。今更ですが、あなたはどこの英雄なのです？
そんなものは初めに言ったんだがね。覚えていないあんたの落ち度だと思うんだが。そうか。まだ記憶とやらは曖昧なままなのか。
それは、そうですね。こうなっては隠していても仕方がありません。アベンジャー、私はあなたと契約した時のことを思い出せない。時間を置けば回復すると踏んでいましたが、状況は私が思っていたより厳しいようだ。
で、手っ取り早く俺にもう一度説明しろと。そう言われても、俺が知ってることなんてたかが知れてるぜ。あんたは俺をサーバントとして召喚して契約した。気がつけば俺はあの洋館にいて、あんたに首輪つけられてこき使われてたわけだ。そん時に神名は名乗ったが、まあ別にいいか。誰に聞かれてもどうってことない。
どうということはない。それはどういう？
俺、自分の名前はないんだ。生前どんな名前だったのかなんて知らねえのさ。
そんなバカな。サーバントである以上、あなたは英霊だ。名称のない英雄など存在しない。
ああ、だから名称はある。
Title.
俺には人間としての名前がないだけだ。周りが呼んでいた名称でいいなら教えられるけど、それでいい？
もちろんです。契約するとき、私はあなたの名前を聞いているはずだ。 結果あなたを信頼、いえ、聖杯戦争を勝ち抜くにふさわしい力を持っていると判断した。その私が認めた名称は何というのです？
アンリマユ。
Yep.
どこぞの古びた風習の名前だよ。
I'll remind you. Yeah, don't really need to hide it. First off, it wasn't that big a deal, so I just gave her a straight answer.
アンリマユ。その名は。
Isn't the name of a hero. Or isn't fit to be a hero. Isn't a name you'd give to a person to begin with. Yeah, your face is just telling me all the above. I understand how my dear master feels. It's not as if I live up to my namesake. I'll remind you. The name of the most powerful demon in ancient Persia. The greatest nemesis in Zoroastrianism, embracing all evil, that kept fighting for 9,000 years against the god of light, guardian of the good of humanity. The god of evil, you could say. The bad part is the freaking huge scale. Overseeing half the entire world? Give me a break, this name's a bother. Honestly, something of a smaller genre, say the god of desks or pots, would have been a much better fit. A tale of Zoroastrianism revolves around the discord caused between the two gods of good and evil. It's the first religion to introduce the duality of angels and demons. Of course, I've never seen an angel in my life, and I'm not exactly acquaintances with any demons. I was just one villager that idolized those teachings. Apparently, just one good deed was enough for me to get treated like a hero and elevated to heroic spirit status after death.
勘違いするなよ。別に神様本人ってわけじゃない。たまたま持ってる属性がそいつに近かったから加盟として付けられただけだろう。英霊としての格は低いし、知っての通りあまり役に立たない三流だ。
それはとっくに承知しています。今さら弁解してもらうことでもありません。
That stings, Master.
しかしアンリマユ、いえ、私の呼び出したサーバントは。
Yeah, Kulane. Had a more different, endearing name? Bazat Fraga McRemitz wondered to herself.
親愛なる響きね。何？あんた、他に呼び出したい英霊がいたの？俺なんかじゃなく、もっと強くて立
So
派
yeah,
な英
I
雄に
take
当て
it
があっ
that
た
in
とか。
proper timeline, the person sent by the Mages Association that Kotomine killed to get Lancer was probably Bazat.
いえ、そんなことはあまり。
Not really, she adds quietly. Yeah, you're being really obvious. Had some other guy in your mind. Okay, sorry to knew about that. But who would have thought you'd be picky about your servants, too? So our relationship was just compromise. And I was being relatively serious about it, too. Ah, well, I'm over it.
面白いな、その顔。あんたでもそんな顔するんだ。拍子抜けではあるが、まあ予想通りでもある。で、どんな男が好みなんだ、あんた。
何を言い出しますか。男性の好みなんて話していなかったでしょ。私はただあなたとかの英霊との違いを考えていただけです。
だからそれが男の話だっていうの。使い魔なんざ術者の好みが第一なんだから、女のマスターが色男を呼ぶのは当然じゃねえか。あ、何？それとも女の英霊でも呼ぶ気だったのか？そりゃ深いな。まさか趣味と実益を兼ねた男装だったとは。
Avenger.
私はそのような市場は挟みません。あなたと契約したのはそれが正しいと私が判断したからです。そこに異性の感情など挟まない。ですが誤解を招く物言いだったことも認めましょう。私は確かにあなた以外の英霊に執着していた。
そう、それそれ。そこまで白状したなら聞かせろよ。得るもんじゃなし、隠し事は極力潰していこう。で、マスター、あんたもともとどこの英霊を呼び出そうとしてたんだ？
呼び出そうというのは、私にはかの英霊を召喚できる保証はなかったし、私自身 彼の存在を信じてはいなかったのですから。
She starts trailing off. Must be going over some old memories. The emotional state of the woman standing in front of me is regressing fast, like she's berating herself.
なるほど。信じていない英雄は呼び出せない。けど、あんたはその英雄に会いたかったわけか。
どうでしょう。恥ずかしい話ですが、自分でもわからない。子供の頃の話です。私はその何に対しても冷めた子供だった。周りの言う楽しみというものがうまく飲み込めず、よく両親を困惑させたものです。父は言いました。お前は作業のように一日を過ごすのだなと。負い目があったのは両親だけだったのでしょうね。私はそういった父の罪悪感も感じ取れず、今と同じつまらない毎日を過ごしていた。思い出の大部分はそういった淡々とした日々です。けれど一つだけ夢中になったものがあった。本当にどうしてそれだけが特別だったのか今でもわからない。家の書斎でたまたま手にした私の国ならどこにでもある昔話を読んだとき。
昔話ね。それが
Someone she didn't believe in but still wanted to meet. One of the many phantoms that young children dream of and forget in maturity. Tossed away in great number, huh?
ええ、その童話にいる時だけ私は同じ年頃の子たちと同じになれた。けどその話の最後は華やかなものではなかった。そう、みんなは勇ましい話だと言うけれど、私には違った話にしか見えなかった。その時に思ったのです。何もできない私だけど、もし許されるのなら彼を救いたいと願ってもいいのでしょうか。
To be fair, the desire to save someone exists in all human beings. That much I can admit. Heck, I can even feel it myself. Now, the definition of saving is going to be different from person to person. But as long as that desire is just a wish, it's not something that others can condemn. The problem here, though, should it be okay to wish to save him? Is that the little girl didn't understand something that obvious? There's Bazette, who turns something that anybody can do into a wish. Then there's the mythical hero, the only one the little girl looked up to. I take back the I'm over it. Bastard. Next time I meet you, you're dead meat.
欲がないな。それがあんたの望みってわけ？聖杯も随分安く使われるもんだ。
Wicked laughter. Honestly, the idea of using one fairy tale against another is damn amusing.
だからそれは子供の頃の話です。今のは英霊を召喚するとしたら誰を選ぶかという。もしかの英雄を呼び出せる触媒があったのなら、私には召喚する動機があったという話です。
でも結局呼び出したのは俺みたいな半端者だったわけだ。マスターも男運ねえな。
Cackling again. Seriously, she definitely looks like she hasn't gotten any luck with men.
アベンジャー、今の私の望みは聖杯を確保し魔術協会に持ち帰ることです。
知ってるよ。あんたそこまで器用な人間じゃないからな。
After all, you can't make a wish for something that doesn't exist. 0 times anything is still 0.
次はあなたの番よ、アベンジャー。私が答えたのだから教えなさい。
No, she turned the tables on me. Actually, like my master, there's no wish I want to make using the Holy Grail. Sadly enough, there's just one thing that I voluntarily engross myself in these days.
俺の望み？強いて言うと絵を完成させたいってところか。
She's looking at me like a clueless idiot. When we get back to our hideout, she's gonna find that puzzle I was working on and yell at me for a more serious answer.
待って、
What the hell was that?
今強い魔力を感じなかった。
Was that Archer?
悪い。魔力感知なんざ持ってない。けど発信源なら見たぜ。あのビルの屋上で何か光った。
Bazette is quick to react. She picks rock off the ground and after throwing it over her shoulder, runs toward the center building without so much as asking me to follow. Obedient as I am, I chase after Bazette. However, it's still bugging me. Just what is that? Bazette's carrying some kind of tube. I thought that surely there's a weapon inside, but she didn't take it with her when the last free-for-all happened. I can't help but wonder about this funny container when it's being carried right in front of me.
ねえ、それ何？
Bazette's looking for the back entrance to the building. From what I can tell, she's pretty tense.
ねえねえ、それ何なんだよ。
I'm being persistent, too. Maybe my sincerity got through to her. Bazette stops moving and shows me the container. Length of observation, approximately 1 minute. After showing it to me...
どう？
ああ、わかった。多分 T セットが入ってる。
Oops, pissed her off. Wrinkles forming on her forehead, she reluctantly takes the lid off. Several balls plop out. Size-wise, they're about the same as track and field shots, and about the same mass, I'd guess. Looks like you can hold no more than 5, but right now there are only 3. I see. It all makes sense now that you show me what's inside. To think she was carrying this relic. I tremble in your presence, Bazette Frog and the Gremlins. By the way,
何これ？
the mystery had only deepened.
あなたには説明しません。少なくとも T セットでないことは確認していただけたかと。
She puts the spheres back inside and remounts the cylinder on her back. So she won't explain her trump card to someone she can't trust. I see. Moving on.
力持ちだな。何？胸が重い分肩に負担かかって筋肉あるとか？使いもしねえくせに無駄にでかいもんな、あんたの。
Man, Avenger is something else. I tell her the objective truth, as observed with my keen eyes. Bazette stops dead in her tracks, turning around slowly like a rusted doll.
微笑ましい。あなたの遮奪さは時に殺意を覚えるほど的確で勇敢だ。
That's a fair reaction. Now this is more like it. This is how a master and servant should be. The anger she's radiating could end up with me dead if she figures I'll revive anyway. A little shit stir. There's nobody on the rooftop. Only the sound of powerful wind is there to greet us.
遅かったか。確かに何者かがいた痕跡はありますが、ここから足取りを探るのは不可能だ。
Bazette's looking down at the city from the edge of the roof. Something in mind already, I bet. As for what I'm doing, I'm wiping off the traces of blood on the floor with my feet. This is the highest place in Shinto. The moon seems a little lower than usual. Had there been a ladder or stairs, you could probably reach it. Even though most of the humans are gone, the city lights are still on. I gaze at all the life below, covered in dazzling prosperity. Not that I'm bored. It would be no good to let myself be particularly impressed by anything. But for now, there's nothing wrong with this scenery.
アベンジャー。
Out of the blue, Bazette appears next to me.
なんだよ。何かいいものでも見つけたのか？
先ほどの怪物を何体か確認しました。この場所からなら、シントにいる使い魔は肉眼で発見できそうです。
Your eyes are looking obsessive. Instead of enjoying the city scenery, apparently she was glaring at the monsters wandering around Shinto.
それが何？ここで一晩中観察して使い魔の主人を探してみるとか？
現実的ではありませんね。あれは使い捨てのようだ。主人の元には戻りませんから、ここで監視したところで本拠地は割り出せない。
だろうな。無駄なことはしないに限る。マスターが懸命で助かった。けど、その物言いだと。
アベンジャー、私はあの怪物たちを一掃したい。そのために、あなたの力を貸しなさい。
I knew this was going to happen. Shit, why'd you have to be such a goody two-shoes? This is making me want to tear you apart.
一般人を巻き込むななんて命令に比べれば俺向きだけどな。いいのかよマスター。あんた聖杯戦争に勝つことが目的なんだろ。連中の主人が邪魔だってんならわかるけど、奴らが人間を殺して回ってるから一掃するなんてのは矛盾している。悪い子でいようと決めたのにいい子でもいたいなんて、そりゃ都合が良すぎるだろ。
Now then, I'm not trying to hide my hostility at all. It's pretty clear that we'd end up in a fight to the death soon enough, the way things are going. One arm behind my back, I materialized my favorite dagger. That prediction I made, about killing each other at least once, is about to become reality in 10 minutes later. I'd make a good profit. My policy is to wait for the opposition to come at me before I attack. It really is a pity, but we should do this at least once. Huh?
あなたの言う通りだ。確かに人助けが目的ではありません。
There's some hesitation. She wisely recognized it.
ですが、間違っていることは正したい。知った以上、私には見て見ぬふりはできません。
She spoke like she was trying to tell herself that.
それはどんな理由で？連中が人を殺すのがいけないってこと？それを見逃す自分がいけないってこと？それとも聖杯戦争より人助けの方が大切だってこと？
Probably all the above. That's why Bazette is confined by these contradictions. She thought that she was right, she wouldn't look so pained, while trying to hold back her inner self that is contradictory for a magus.
正しいと思える行動に理由はありません。いえ、理由があってはいけないと思う。それを正しいと感じたのなら。
The words of reason and gain should not be used as shields, is probably what she's trying to say.
うわ、独善だね。やばいぜ、その考え。
ええ、あなたに言われなくとも承知している。
Had to get serious on me, didn't you? That's what she wants to believe to be the right way of life. On the other hand, the current Bazette Fraga McRemens is subordinate to the reason that is the association. It'd be fine if she was tough enough to get a good balance between both, but...
まあ、ご立派な思想はいいけどさ。何もそこまで正義に付き合ってやることはないだろう。ありゃ元から形のないものだ。どんなに求愛しても向こうから帰ってくるものはないよ。それよりさ、もっといい目を見せてくれる勢力と付き合った方が良くないか？
ですから、私も魔術協会に所属している。私だって見返りは欲しい。それとは別に、できる限り正しくありたいと思うだけです。
Why would someone want to live correctly? That's said when that person doesn't think he's living correctly. So he struggles to show that he's cleaning his sinful hide, even if only a little bit by taking the right actions. Honestly.
生真面目なあんたらしい。要するに、徳の高い人間になりたいんだ。
What a clumsy, miserable way of living this human has.
そうなのかもしれませんね。けれど、私にはかなわない願いだ。私は壊すことでしか感謝されない人間です。人徳とは他人に親しまれる、他人に与えることができる人間が持ち得るもの、決して私に与えられるものではありません。
Contribute to society, to save people. That's what virtue is. All she can do is destroy. A person that is unable to fix cannot truly gain trust, is what her eyes tell me.
それは誤認だと思うけどね。
いいえ、私には私財を投げ打って貧窮の民を救うことも、新しい組織を作ることもできない。あくまで歯車の一つで、いつまでもちっぽけな一個人から抜け出せない。そんな人間に高い徳なんて得られるはずがないでしょう。
まさか。
I got seriously angry there. Not good. I'm actually getting into a serious conversation.
それだけは完璧に間違いだ。金で徳は買えね 徳ってのは魂の質だ。それは得るものじゃない。苦しみながら自分の中で培うものだ。
It's the same for any human, no matter how insignificant, no matter how powerless, no matter how worthless. It's a function everyone has at birth, a radiance refined by the will to move forward. There is no line drawn between good and evil. It's only those that aim for their peak as living beings that the door to enlightenment opens for.
徳は自らの価値は外的評価によるものではないというのですか？
あ？いや、価値って話なら外的評価が全てだよ。そのための徳、そのための自己錬磨だ。せいぜい高値ふっかけて自分を自分以上に買ってくれるやつとくっつくためのパラメーターだよ。
Improvement of the inner space is linked to the improvement of external space. The more vain and lonely someone is, the more they cling to being a good person, and feel shamed about how pathetic that makes them. I'm so selfish for trying to be good just so people won't hate me, they think. However,
それでいいじゃねえか。誰かに認められたいって気持ちはな、怒っていいことなんだよ。その気持ちがあるやつは同じようにきっと誰かを認めてやれる。あんたの方針が結局は自分のためだって言うんなら間違ってなんかいねえってこと。
that's where the good part of love, enjoying life with others, lies. Granted, she hasn't gotten to that point yet, and I doubt she'll ever realize it before she dies. Anyway, this woman's clumsy. But she's resourceful, so by some accident she wound up like this, seemingly able to accomplish anything. Bold yet pessimistic. Self-reform that keeps putting you on detours. Knowing that you're wrong, screaming that it isn't a big deal, you struggle desperately towards the brighter path. Ah, so that's the kind of human I offered a hand to.
そのあなたらしからぬ考説でしたが、結論として今後の方針に文句はないと。
ああ、いいんじゃない。正義の味方ってのも気持ちよさそうだし、たまには理不尽な死から人々を守るのも悪くない。
Just hearing hero of justice makes me want to vomit, but that's the best word for it.
意外ですね。正義なんて言葉、あなたが最も嫌うものだと感じていましたが。
嫌いだよ。けどそういう方向性は好きなんだ。
は？
First off, it doesn't change what I do. We wander around the city at night, kill other masters, and kill those monsters. Only the priorities are now even. It's right within my range. It's still right within my range. There's still plenty of life in Fuyuki. Until my master gets full, the cup isn't going to run dry. Never attaining victory, the two of us, who know no death, will overcome any defeat.
そう、あんたの気が済むまでやろうぜ、マスター。何事も経験だ。飽きるまで楽しめばいい。
Alone, I count the ravaging winds. From this tower, the closest to the heavens, the lights of the city look like fakes. The Holy Grail War will keep on going. The murders, my only amusement, will keep on going. Tomorrow will probably be defeated and be revived yet again. Until the time comes, until Bizet decides to change her plan, I'll stick with her for the time being. This place is a far, deep, hollow sky. Anything gained is all going to be an illusion in the end.
あんたの気が済むまでやろうぜ、マスター。何事も経験だ。飽きるまで楽しめばいい。
Having said that, my servant looked elsewhere. For whatever reason, his disposition changed, and he ceased talking and is now quietly gazing at the nighttime scenery. Servant Avenger. Though it is not among the 7 classes, they say exceptions can sometimes occur in the Holy Grail War. Avenger must be one of those. The notion of a heroic spirit meaning vengeance is a contradiction in itself, but the title of Al-Ramayu is an even bigger mystery. It is common among heroes to be recorded in history by the titles they gained later, and not by the names they were born with. The story that I told him of the hero of my homeland was also one of them. But the tone of the name Al-Ramayu is just too ominous. I must get his real name out of him one day, for his sake. Not the horrible one, but the name he was given at birth. Below I see dark shadows wandering across the city. Even with the Kanaza rune of Farsight, all I can tell from here is the general state of Shinto. Fuyuki is divided into two by the Mion River. To see what is going on in Miyama, which lies past the big bridge, I have no choice but to cross it myself. Those black monsters have to be hiding there. I wonder, what ritual are those monsters bound by? I've never seen that type of familiar, even in the Association. Mysteriously, they seem to be operating under orders, yet apparently possess no intelligence of their own. Their actual purpose is unclear. Combat ability is fairly high. Like large hunting dogs or feral monkeys with amplified humanoid form. A human without combat experience would be killed immediately with no resistance. A human with 10 years or more of involvement in martial arts and sports could put up a fight for several seconds, provided the conditions were favorable, or alternatively escape. However, there are many. In addition to that, their appearance is physiologically repulsive, with claws that stick out like blades and a bark-like rough body. If attacked by several of them, a human would not survive without firearms. Also, ugh, that scream is just too discomforting. A shrill voice that the ears can't withstand, totally different from the roar of a beast. If insects that swarm together in the shadows possessed a vocal system, these are the kinds of cries they would make, no doubt. He, Avenger, doesn't seem to mind those voices. In the last fight, he dealt with those monsters as if it was simple work. But even then, his abilities are not something I would rate highly. His self-appointed title, the weakest servant, is correct. But while it is correct, it would be a joke for any heroic spirit to have a hard time against this kind of small fry, wouldn't it?
詐欺じゃないだろう。初めっから最弱だって断ってんだから。
待って、あなた私の考えが読めるの？
読めねえよ。そんな風な面してたから言っただけだ。ま、読めたらさぞ面白いだろうよ。あんたは中身と外見がちぐはぐだからな。
He laughs rudely. This man's crudeness does not suit me at all. Andy is weak. Andy is all talk. Looks like I'm going to have to take the lead on the rematch with Saber. But he is not all bad. This servant excels at not dying. He is unkillable to begin with, as he would simply revive after dying. That may have been the very reason for the composure that allowed him to become extremely good at fighting defensively. In that last fight, I dealt with being surrounded by felling enemies one by one in a matter of seconds. He, however, had completely held them off while being surrounded until I ran to support him. His fighting style will not allow him to win, but it will not allow him to lose either. That, I really don't want to admit it, but that is an outstandingly good match with my combat strategy. Yet stronger wind blows past me. From the corner of my eye, I see the flowing hair of the servant standing next to me. Whoa. A primeval shaman enveloped by the winds of the wilderness. I see a vision of a simple figure taking nature as it is, living and dying along with it.
アベンジャー、今の。
そろそろ行こうぜ。連中がたむろしている場所は把握しただろ。あんなんでも生き物だからな。ばらせば気晴らしにはなってくれる。
It was only my imagination. Avenger was only looking for where the monsters are.
おう、そうか。難しく考えることはなかったんだ。あんたも人が悪いぜマスター。結局さ、目につく敵は全て殺せってことじゃねえか。
Skillfully twirling his brutal knife, he hooks his lip upward as if truly having fun. As long as he can kill something living, he's happy. Whether human or animal. They were originally the same beast anyway. I glare at my servant.
ああ、間違い。人間は殺しません。やるのはマスターと怪物たちだけにするから、そう怖い顔しないでください。ああ、もうつまんねえの。うちのマスターは器量小せんだからさ。でかいのは胸だけかよ。
Still chattering, he disappears inside the building.
最低ですね。あれは何を言ってもあのままだ。
With a sigh, I leave the rooftop. Above me is the ominous moon. Below me is the depths of the city. I have disgust and distrust for the servant I'm fighting with. This Holy Grail war has given me nothing but cause for unease so far. Yet despite that, I am becoming attached to that servant. If only slightly more than yesterday. The servant that was gazing at the city. Seeing his cold appearance, a contradictory thought crossed my mind for no apparent reason. That man is hopelessly evil. And yet, at the same time, could it be that he loves the human world just as much? Dialogue Mobius Link. Okay. Oh, Ilya. Alright. I think... Anything else new? Something new at the temple. Taiga in the rear woods? Okay. Someone at the... What do you mean, ghost house? That's strange. I think we'll just start with Ilya, though. But I'll save that for next time. So, I will end things off here, and I will see you all in the next one. So, see you then. Bye!